Good morning. I know it's been a long time. I'm so sorry. I kind of let life get away from me. I went back to school at almost 40 years old, and I got a new job, and I'm working in healthcare now as a medical assistant, and it's just been such a whirlwind and so much fun. And I thought I would let all of my stories here on YouTube and my website just sit for a while, and gain traction. And so that's been fun to kind of watch those numbers grow. On the older stories, for some reason, the newer stories don't seem to get as much traction. So if you could pop on over and check out some of my newer stuff, I think you'd really like it. But this little ditty I wrote the other night when I couldn't sleep. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was just laying there thinking about my love for October, all things October. I love fall, and I love the colors and the crisp air and fires and, bonfires and hoodies and all things pumpkin. But mostly, if you know me, you already know this. I love all things spooky. I love ghosty things and scary things, and I just love anything and everything that has to do with that. So with that in mind, I wrote this little ditty for you. It's called Whispering Brick. It was 33 past 7 on a crisp autumn eve. Trees bade farewell to red, orange, and yellow leaves. The street lights flickered and the roadways stood still. She gently sat her mug of tea upon the windowsill. The house creaked and groaned as old houses do. Wind plays more games in aged houses than it does in new. Nora Wesley's brick house had been built in 1862 by a wealthy businessman for his wife and children, too. She had researched upon purchasing before she signed the papers. The wife had passed from pneumonia, her husband 3 years later. The grown children sold the house to a man named Charles Black, who ran a local printing press with a brothel in the back. A woman named Anne Buchanan ruled it with an iron fist, always loyal to her girls, but the men called her a witch. A broom hung above her door to keep bad folk away. She danced naked on full moons, or so the townsfolk say. One rumor proven true, of a lady named Claire Crew. A John came in and roughed her up, left her black and blue. Anne found out and grabbed her gun, ready to put him down. She laced her boots and headed out and marched across town. When Anne arrived at the John's house, she didn't bother knock. One swift kick, that door fell in, put a shotgun to his brow. She yelled, "You pathetic little man, give me one reason not to shoot." He cried, "I'm so sorry, ma'am. I won't do it again." But her anger only grew. He stunk of drunk, and just then she caught sight of a bloodied woman, his wife, holding a knife to protect herself from him. Anne asked, with only her green eyes, and the wife stood and said, "Shoot him, Anne. Shoot him now, or he'll just do it again." Anne pushed it against his temple and pulled that trigger with no chagrin. She wiped her brow and said to her, "He won't hurt you again." Anne wasn't tried, but she never denied the role she played in his death. She said, "Hurt my girls, and I'll kill you before I take my very next breath." Well, this didn't sit well with Mr. Charles Black, the man who'd allowed her to rent out the brick buildings back. It made him look weak, or so he believed, emasculated and feeble, or so he perceived. He sat at his press, empty bottle in hand, nearly losing his balance when he tried to stand. The whiskey now gone along with his moral compass, he marched in demanding, "Where is your miss?" "What is this all about? Is that you, Charles Black?" "Yeah, it's me, and you see I'm taking it back." "Taking what back? Let's get you over there to a chair." "My building, this building, I own everything here." Now, Anne said as she sat him down comfortably. "I'm taking it back. It belongs to me." "You want Susie tonight? How about Nellie or Bee? Oh, I bet you want Jazz. Or how about Betty?" I don't want no damn woman, you damn Jezebel, you harlot, you whore, sent straight from hell. You murdered Jimmy Jones and the townsfolk know. Hush now, Mr. Black, let's remove these bedclothes. Old Charles Black took a swing at a nearby blonde girl. He missed his target, but instead broke her strand of pearls. They fell and rolled across the old wooden floors. Miss Anne's face grew scarlet as she disappeared through the door. You are to vacate my property tonight, Charles Black yelled at her, still full of fight. She returned promptly with a shotgun in hand. You gonna shoot? Interrupted by Anne's unexpected backhand. Mr. Black, you get yourself home now. I won't tolerate this mess. He laughed. He shouldn't have, because of what happened next. Oh, am I funny? She asked. Do you find this humorous? He spat on the floor and said, I don't take orders from no damn dress. She cocked her shotgun and aimed it straight for his dirty boot, pulled that trigger without pause and said, Well, ain't that a hoot? Charles yelled out in pain and collapsed onto the floor. You shot my damn toe off! You evil, evil whore! Anne cocked the gun again and aimed right for his head. She looked down the barrel, closed one eye, and simply said, No one hurts my girls, Charles Black. I tried to warn you so. Now get back on home, get up, and just go. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The craziest part hadn't even been revealed, Nora had recently learned. You see, Anne felt remorseful, so she nursed Charles until his wounds were healed. She cooked and cleaned and tended to him and cooked all of his meals. The unlikely pair then fell in love and were engaged to be married. The quarrel reportedly forgotten and the hatchet, it was buried. Until one fateful morning in the middle of October, Anne shot Charles dead in the bed where he had slept beside her. Some say she'd simply wanted her name upon the deed. Some say it had nothing at all to do with greed. It was rumored Miss Anne had discovered a horrid secret. Something so heinous, so atrocious, nobody dared speak it. Charles Black already had a wife he had locked away in a room. As he visited the brothel, his wife met horrific doom. Shackled and starved, no one heard her screams, muffled effectively by the sound of his machines. She withered away and eventually died, as her husband laid with women just on the other side. Nora wondered which room his poor wife had been locked in. Was it the one that now serves as her master bathroom? What stories would the walls tell her if walls could remember? What other atrocities would they reveal to her? The bricks in Nora's home would whisper tragic stories of its ghosts. The home's long dead tenants, its former beloved hosts.